Hey, here are 5 stupid things I've noticed since last time. The unrisable John Boehner. So the State of the Union address was about 2 weeks ago. Much as I like and even admire President Obama, the speeches all kind of run together at this point. The only thing I can remember about this most recent State of the Union address as I sit here right now is, well, first when President Obama called for a vote on gun control legislation, which elicited a standing ovation from the gallery and chants of vote, 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 just a really stirring moment, I thought. And then second, the fact that Speaker of the House John Boehner chose to spend that moment and most of the rest of the speech with his ass glued to his chair. Now look, Boehner is a Republican. I don't expect him to be clapping his hands raw for Obama's proposals, but for Christ's sake, the guy stood up with everyone else when Obama acknowledged Michelle Obama, the First Lady, and he also stood up and participated in the standing ovation that was given to the 102-year-old lady who had stood in line for hours to vote on Election Day. But that was really about it. I mean, reacting stoically to the opposition is one thing, but I think Boehner was mostly just being a dick. Although Obama was reelected despite the best efforts of Boehner's party for the last 4 years, so maybe that was mostly just him trying to hold it together. Black nurse banned from caring for white baby. A nurse in Flint, Michigan is suing the hospital she works for after she was banned from caring for a white child because she is black. Her lawsuit states that the baby's father met with the head nurse and specifically requested that no African American nurses touch his newborn, which was being cared for in the hospital's neonatal intensive care unit. The lawsuit also alleges that the father had a swastika tattoo on his arm, so I'm guessing that African American nurse might not have been his exact words. The baby stayed in the hospital for the next month, during which time no African American nurses were assigned to care for it. It's always nice when a supervisor stands up for her employees, isn't it? Russian Meteor conspiracy theories. The meteor that streaked across the sky of southwestern Russia a little over a week ago exploded several miles above the ground, which is making finding fragments of it a lot more difficult than you might expect at first after seeing the size of that fireball. But this has led some Russians, their brain capacities inhibited by the clutching, seeping, ever-present cold, no doubt, to speculate that the meteor was actually shot down by either the Russian or the American military, or perhaps that it wasn't really a meteor at all, but some secret American military weapon being tested over Russia. Yeah, that makes complete sense to me. I mean, after all, we Americans have killed perhaps thousands of people using virtually undetectable drones, but you never know when a fiery death ball from space might come in handy. But you know, actually, I say that, and this is pretty stupid, but I find this story reassuring in general, because as an American, it's always a comfort to me when I'm reminded that my country doesn't hold the monopoly on shit-for-brains yokels. Conservatives bitch about Tea Party wrestling gimmick. WWE wrestler Jack Swagger recently returned to TV with a brand new gimmick, that of a xenophobic right-wing patriot, complete with a Gadsden flag and a misappropriated "We the People" as a catchphrase. It's not a great gimmick, but I much prefer conservative anti-government nutcase as a heel gimmick to WWE's usual heel gimmicks, which have included smart person or guy from another country. Of course, many conservatives don't feel the same way, and they have taken to Twitter to complain that the new Jack Swagger gimmick demonizes the Tea Party or belittles conservative values. And Breitbart.com said, quote, "It's hard to imagine a bigger PR blunder." Oh, I think I could imagine one. Yes, that's Jack Swagger, who was recently booked into a WrestleMania match and then subsequently arrested for DUI and marijuana possession after a TV taping. Way to seize that opportunity, idiot. Alaskan legislators laugh at prospect of same-sex marriage. 2 weeks ago, a reporter with the Juneau Empire asked members of the majority Republican caucus of the Alaskan House of Representatives whether or not they would support same-sex domestic partnerships or civil unions in the upcoming legislative session. And oh, how they laughed. Oh, Republicans in Alaska supporting same-sex marriage? Why, the very idea! A few days later, the Speaker of the House and the House Majority Leader released a statement saying that the laughter had been inappropriate as a response to that question. And you know what? They weren't even laughing at the idea of same-sex marriage anyway. They were laughing at which one of their fellow legislators had to respond to the difficult question. So there you go. Not laughing derisively at gay rights, laughing sympathetically at a colleague having to talk about gay rights. Thanks, guys. Cleared that right up. The statement also says, quote, "What's important about this caucus is that we've focused on the things that allow people to have a great life. We didn't have a discussion here about what happens inside your home." Right, because the ability to marry the person you love has no effect whatsoever on whether or not you can have a happy life. You know, you guys had better hope that oil never runs out, because without it, I really don't see what good you and the rest of your fucking middle-of-nowhere state is doing the rest of us. And I'm sure that our pals up in Canada would love another national park. The hardest part is only picking 5. Catch you next time.